Hi everybody, it's Sloan, and I am back with this week's astrology update from December 2nd through to December 9th. What's going on in the stars and what's happening with your sign? Well, first let's start off with we are starting the week with a Scorpio moon on Monday. And what that means is we have a reflective, emotional, going inward kind of beginning to the week. So after Thanksgiving and all of the rushing around and the family and the friends and everything we've been doing, this start to this week gives us time to slow down, to prepare, to focus on what needs to be done, not what we think we have to do, but actually what needs to happen before the holiday rush picks up again in about 8 days. And so we are starting off with the week like that. Also, it will be a little bit emotional, maybe a little bit frustrating because things don't move as quickly as they should, because remember, Mercury is just about to go direct on Thursday, December 6th, and we are waiting for that to happen. So the energy right now is kind of very push-pull. It's moving, it's not, it's moving, it's not. Now, on Thursday, the 6th, Mercury will be stationary direct at approximately 8:30 at night, West Coast time, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11:30 at night, East Coast time, and Mercury will be direct. Now, what does that mean? It means for everybody, there is an increase in energy. So you'll start to feel the communication really quicken towards the end of the retrograde, leading up to that time when it actually does start moving forward. We are still in the shadow period until about the 24th of December, but that is a very minor thing. It just means that Mercury, while moving forward, has to pass the degree that it went retrograde in. And once it does that, it is completely free of all of those little Mercury retrograde type of things that we're so used to have happen. After that, about 3 hours later, we have a new moon in Sagittarius. Now, what does that mean? The moon in Sagittarius is extremely interesting. Right now, of course, with a new moon, it is conjunct the sun, also in Sag, obviously. And we have Jupiter in Sag and Mercury is in Sag, newly direct, I might add. So as Mercury gets ready to go direct, we are then having the new moon. So the communication that we're going to have after that fact is very interesting because it is both philosophical and theological, and it's opening our eyes to different ways of thinking and different ways culturally, different ways event-wise, different ways within our family members, people we know, and work-wise. So this new moon in Sagittarius is all about that. And it couldn't be more about that. Now, with all of the influences in Sagittarius right now, it is encouraging the whole world to look at people in a different way, to understand different cultures, different belief systems, and different ways of living on the earth. So it really is a new moon of tolerance and moving forward. So this is also an educational new moon because remember, perpetual students of the zodiac are Sagittariuses, although they are also Peter Pans, but they will continue to study throughout their lifetime. So with Jupiter in Sag at the moment, coming up right behind this new moon, we are going to start to see people wanting to learn things in a different way, learn different languages, learn different textures and nuances of the world. That will be a very prominent theme with this new moon. Also, the new moon is at 15 degrees of Sagittarius. So what I want you guys to do is to look at your charts and find out where Sagittarius is. Are you a Sagittarius moon, a Sagittarius sun, a Sagittarius rising, Sagittarius in the 5th house, your 10th house, your 2nd house? Where is it located? Because that's going to tell you where you're affected. That's why it's so super important that you know your chart, at least the basics, sun, moon, and rising, because when you know the rising, you know where Sagittarius is going to be going through your chart, because you can go from the rising, go all the way around your chart, even at the very most basic sense. Okay, so now let's go to the signs. Let's start with Aries, the first sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac. Aries, you guys have felt really discombobulated, very odd, and a little bit erratic since Uranus went backwards, retrograded into your sign from Taurus. You were scot-free in May and then right back. But this gives you a chance to redo, rethink, and reapply yourself to things that need to get finished. So this new moon in Sagittarius, a fire trine for you, is going to allow you to see things in an open and different way. Not so much that you have to be right, but you're willing to listen to other people and what they have to express. Now let's go to Taurus, the second sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac, and a sign that loves to take its time to take action and move through the world. Okay, Taurus, this is interesting for you because the Sagittarius new moon is going to make you hyper and active. So Taurus likes to have plans, plan out everything, pack a month in advance, order everything online, make sure it all is executed according to plan. That's not happening with this Sagittarius new moon. So just drop that thinking and go with it. It's about freedom and free flow. So it's about being expansive enough to allow things to happen in their natural time, not your planned time. So let's go to the third sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac, and that is Gemini. So Gemini, okay, you guys are super excited that Mercury is now going direct, because no longer are you going to have your ruling planet steering you down the wrong path, making you say things you didn't really mean to say to friends and family. So you're going to be able to hold your tongue a little bit and speak in a little bit more tactful, diplomatic way, at least for a while, because your opposing sign of Sagittarius is where the moon is new. This is going to take you once again out of your comfort zone into areas that you might not normally go. So that's what this week ahead is like for you. And let's go to Cancer, the fourth sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac. So Cancer, usually moody, really receptive, hiding in the background to make sure that nobody makes them feel bad and their feelings are not expressed. So what's happening with you with the Sagittarius new moon? A lot of fun is what's happening with you. Now, Cancer, you have it difficult because you move with all of the moon's movements every 2.5 days, in and out of signs, all the way through every phase. Cancer feels. They feel more than most of us. So for Cancer, the Sagittarius new moon is going to be all about letting your hair down and having fun. So this is a week of laughter for Cancer. Now going to the fifth sign and fellow fire sign of the zodiac, Leo. Leo, in the coming week, the new moon in Sagittarius is going to make you start exploring your options for travel. So Leo will become fixated on where they can go and where they can move, and can they get there for work? Can they get there for fun? Can they just keep moving? That's what Sagittarius new moon does to other fire signs. It makes them real hyper. And Leo, you are no exception. So you are going to be focused on finding somewhere to travel, a travel destination. Now let's go to the sixth sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac, and Virgo. Virgo, you too, like your Gemini, your fellow squaring aspect and ruler of Mercury, are super excited to have Mercury direct, because this means all the pressure is off you at work to prove what you've been saying. It's been a month of hell for you guys, having to go over and redo your work situations, your findings, your information. With Mercury direct, this is no longer an issue. And with the new moon squaring you from the 6th to the 9th house, it's really interesting because it's going to allow you to take your work in a different direction and actually observe something that you've been ignoring up until now. So the Sagittarius new moon is going to have you understand things in a different way pertaining to your work. Now let's go to the seventh sign of the zodiac, Libra. Libra, for this new moon in Sagittarius, it's actually a really good new moon for you. With Mercury going direct, it opens the communication to everybody that you couldn't get in contact with while Mercury was retrograde, and it allows you to start planning those fun events that you love to do. So this Sagittarius new moon has you planning everything from Christmas all the way through to the first 3 weeks into the new year. So for you, this is a week of party planning. Okay, now we jump to the eighth sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac, and that is Scorpio. So what's going on with Scorpio? Well, you're really freaking happy that Venus has gone direct and is moving forward out of your sign. You are also super excited, perhaps not, that Jupiter is now in Sagittarius, because what happened when Jupiter was in your sign was it allowed you to learn how to make your own luck and make things happen. So the Sagittarius new moon this week allows you to implement those plans. So this week, For you, Scorpio, this is a week of planning and moving forward in all areas of your life, but especially relationships. So the communication with people that you like to be around and like to have in your life relationship-wise is moving forward. Okay, so now we jump to the 9th sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac, and that is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this is your birthday month, and it is a month of fun for you. With the sun and moon in your sign, Jupiter, your ruling planet, in your sign, and Mercury in your sign, you can do no wrong. So for you, Sagittarius, this is for you to brainstorm, come up with that money-making idea, and move forward. So this new moon in your sign only moves you forward for 2019, where you can really make things happen for yourself if you apply yourself, which means you can't be burning the candle at both ends like you like to do. Okay, now for the 10th sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac, Capricorn, the taskmaster, the workhorse. That still applies, but the Sagittarius new moon gives a little bit of fun and excitement into your life. So much so that you'll be making a lot of plans and wondering how you're going to execute them all. So I have to remind you to take it slow with the things that you're planning on doing, and maybe mark them down, look at them. Do you have 10 engagements? Do you have 15 engagements? What is it that you're doing? Because you still have Pluto and Saturn in your sign transiting right now, making you basically change everything about the way that you're living your life. So all of those plans you made in the fun new moon in Sagittarius might not be able to happen simply because of work obligations. So keep that in mind. And now we go to the 11th sign of the natural wheel of the zodiac, and that is Aquarius. Aquarius, yay! For you, all of that Scorpio stuff has moved direct, so it's no longer causing you conflict in the home trying to get your things done. With the new moon in Sagittarius, you are able to bring forward the vision for your environment. So this week is about bringing in a new environment around you so that you can move forward in a peaceful and direct way and let go of all of that other nonsense that's been happening for the last 6 months. So it's actually a really good week for you. Now, jumping to the 12th and last but not least sign of the zodiac, Pisces, the fish that swim in opposite directions and yet chase each other. Those fish right now, you Pisces, are in the midst of a new moon in Sagittarius, which is a squaring aspect to you, but it's getting you to think a little bit differently. And a lot of you Pisces people are going to be thinking about re-educating yourself or educating yourself in something new. So this is a really intellectual new moon for the Pisces types, because Pisces tends to be very etheric and on the spiritual side of things, where Sagittarius is very philosophical, but still practical, but yet you both kind of have that changeable element to you. It's very much in harmony with you during this new moon. So if you want to take some courses and sign up for them, this would be the week to do it, because you will enjoy it and it will bring you more information, which is what's needed for Pisces right now. So for the new moon in Sagittarius, which happens at 11:20 on the West Coast and happens at 2:20 on the East Coast the next day, December 7th, what you do is you write out your new moon intentions. So if you want love, money, harmony, abundance, good health, a vacation, happiness, peacefulness, somebody else's well wishes, you write it out and you focus on it. You just basically focus on it and feel with it for a few minutes. And remember, what I want you guys to practice doing is saying, I am and now. So what does that mean? So let's say you want abundance. What you would say is, I am abundant now. I am happy now. I am having better communications now. I am working at a job I love now. These are the things I want you to focus on during the Sagittarius new moon. The other thing is, if you have a bunch of crystals, as I do, you're going to put them outside for the new moon and let them sit there for a good 24 hours, whether it's by your window, outside. You can put them in a little warm bath if you want, as long as it's not selenite or brucite. You can't really leave them in the water. But other than that, you can leave them outside to collect this new moon energy, because it's a very powerful new moon and a lucky one. So your crystals should be charged with the luck of this new moon in Sagittarius. Once again, my name is Sloan, and I'll be back with next week's astrological update.